What's up? This is Jordan Gray from Half Lit and DopelivenTV.
Hey, this your boy Don Ritchie representing the Midwest 219 Stand Up.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Lamar Tate.
This is your girl, Monifa.
Hey, what up? It's your man Dave Hollister from Blackstreet.
You know what this is right here. This Trigger Tretch in the building.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy Jason Weaver. And whenever I'm back home in the Chi, I'm checking out Dope Living TV.
Hey, it's your girl, Adina Howard, and you're watching Dope Living TV, live with Greg Gray and the crew.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Greg Gray. It's your boy Greg Gray, Dope Living TV Live. Look, the views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. Having said that, man, yesterday we were on here talking with a gentleman. His name was Backwood Brad. And he had an interesting story and a lot of insight to this business. So we decided to bring him back on today so we can get a little bit deeper. You know, we call this segment the business about the business. All right, all of that. All right. So we're just going to discuss the ins and outs and some things that you might not know about the business, as well as things that you should know to safeguard yourself and to further your career. It's going to open some eyes. It's definitely going to open some eyes, all right? Let's bring the people on, all right? What's going on here?
I had to do it.
Anyway, what's going on, man?
Ooh, I can't wait for today's show. It's going to be
shout
off
out
the
to
chain.
Kim Thomas, Trey Lene. She went French on us. Tree Lene, I'm sorry. And always the guy, Christopher Lane, Chris Mills. All right. Hey, Chris, thank you for getting Backwood Brad up in here, man. We hanging out with him. We can't let him go, bro. You know what I'm saying? We cannot let him go. Everybody say what's up to my main man.
Hey, what's going on? What's happening, family?
Man. We're good. And y'all notice though, we did start off yesterday like this, but we losing a lot of people.
Yeah.
We are losing people. Somebody else, I forgot who it was, died today.
Okay. When you say, I thought you was talking about dope living. That's what I said. Wait, what's going on? Somebody now went to sleep, woke up in another zone or something.
No,
don't like say that.
No.
Y'all remember long time ago there was this, if you didn't have this certain cologne that you wasn't gonna. Some guys wouldn't got that gray flannel, which is the old man cologne. Okay, yeah. And that's stank. But Issey Miyake, y'all remember Issey Miyake? Well, the man who made that, he died. Okay, Issey Miyake was a nice fragrance, but he died today. Yeah. I guess y'all say so.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out who it is.
What name? What was the name of the cologne?
Issey Miyake was the name of the cologne.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that one got over. It must have not smelled that well because I don't remember that one.
You said it must not have smelled well because you don't remember?
Right.
Oh, so now because Gina don't remember the smell.
That's right. The good ones we remember. Gina Tay. Remember Gina Tay?
Because it
Polo.
said G.
Cool water.
Polo.
Because it said
Polo.
G.
Eternity for Men.
See, we remember those.
Eternity for Men. Yeah. That was a good
Ishipaki.
song.
Anybody?
I don't remember him.
Yeah. Okay.
Gray Flannel was like back in the 80s. 80s.
Rest
Oh
in
man.
peace, Ishiaki.
Yeah.
You ain't say his name.
Ishiaki.
Issy Miyaki.
Ishiaki.
Okay,
Issy
rest in
Miyaki.
peace, Ishiaki.
Issy Miyaki.
Me.
Rest in peace.
You sound better, Gina.
Oh, I feel a little bit better. I just got this world-class headache.
She still got that fire. No, she don't.
And
That's all good.
I'm drinking my tea. So that's helping.
Right. We got to liven this up, though, y'all. What's up?
Okay.
Sitting up here like, yeah, okay. Well.
Business of the business tonight, y'all.
Business of the business.
Yeah. If you're thinking about going in this direction, please listen.
It was good, though, that we talked about that yesterday. And, I think it's going to be even better because after the show, we talked about some things that we didn't get a chance to talk about as we were airing. And it got real deep. All right. We stayed on the phone for a minute. And then even after I left, I know, Maurice, you and Brad were talking.
Yeah. We talked for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
The business of the business,
Business of a business.
Got to know what's going on in this business, man, for real.
You know how
Go ahead.
you know how I am about my music stuff, and
right.
being here in the city of it. So it's that right there. It's like, it's like a passion to me, and I just hate to see people get rolled over,
Yeah, but some people are going to listen, some people aren't going to listen. Hey, what's going on, Anita?
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Hey, Nita.
And if you don't listen,
water, you can't make them drink it.
Yeah, and we're never the people that's going to try to make you do anything. Everybody say except to Marcella.
Hey, everybody. How's everyone doing today?
Good.
We're going to talk about the business today.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all so dead.
What you say? What you say?
The business.
The business of the business.
I can't move. If my head is pounding. I can't. I'm just going to sit here real still.
Yeah, we talked about some things at our after party, and it's like my eyes were open.
I had to miss it. I had to miss it. I had to rest myself.
Viewers, if you're listening now and you know someone that's your loved one, especially these young folks out here I want to get into the music industry, text them, share this right now, have them come on. Please. Because there's so much that happens behind the scenes that you really, really need to know. It's not just as easy and just, hey, you see something on TV and that's what I want to do. I'm going to get right into it. And it's so easy and it's free and it's going to, just going to walk through it. Oh, no, it's nothing like that.
The Cinderella.
Get your people on right now so they can see really what's going on.
And it's always good to talk about stuff anyway, anything that goes on. Just go to talk about it, other people's opinions about it, and maybe it can make you formulate a different way to progress to what you want to get to. All right. We're not saying that anything that we talk about is law. What we're saying is we create a healthy discussion so that everyone can formulate their own ideas and create a different path for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're going to talk about some things. I hope now, if Backwood Brad doesn't show up, it's going to be my fault. All right.
What you do?
Because, I just sent him the link.
Oh, what he did say. I think he'll be on.
Pardon me?
He did say, that he's leaving work. So he'll be in a little bit late anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. But, we can still start the conversation. Again, hey, Lanita, Kim Thomas, Chris Mills, I know you're out there. Tree Lene. Business it's in any form, man, not just the entertainment business, but business in any form, man. You have to develop a plan. Even at the stages that we're at, I'm not even sure that we got it right all the time. We get comfortable sometimes in the way that we do things when we could get out of our comfort zone and probably do a hell of a lot better, sometimes, which is why I don't like being in the comfort zone. Sometimes I get cocooned into that too. But I think, if you take the time to listen, get into conversations like these all over the place, Clubhouse, they do it all the time. You got to pick and choose which Clubhouse to get into though. Okay.
Because it break down and you'll start stripping.
Dude, yeah. Some of these Clubhouse rooms are just ridiculous.
Ooh. And you still go to them though?
No, not really.
Yeah, I don't think they're as popular as they used to be.
No.
Well, I mean, there's some
Oculus doesn't change a lot of that though.
There are some that are thank you, Tree, whatever she's thanking you for. Thank you. But yeah, some of them are still there. But the thing is, you got people that are invited to these groups on Clubhouse, and I'm not knocking Clubhouse. I'm just saying it's not for me. That are knocking these groups on Clubhouse. I'm not knocking. I'm saying that are going towards these groups on Clubhouse for information, for conversation, to try to boost their morale, to get something else going, and then they turn off into something else. I've gone into a couple of rooms sometime, and we start talking, and all of a sudden somebody ghetto, I ain't gonna say ghetto, somebody gets on there and they start going off on, man, did y'all see the latest episode of P Valley?
Yeah.
All the way left. And I'm like, let's stay focused. All right. There's people still out here trying to do some things. Look, so much stuff is going on in the world, period. And like right now, they just raided Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right.
There's going to be a lot of mess behind that.
You call it raided?
Well, they raided. They did raid it because they're looking for folders.
I
don't think it was raided. Okay, and he invited that because he should have left the documents where they were supposed to be. I don't consider that raided.
Somebody snitched on them, of course. Okay, but that's the words that they use, Gina. That's the word that the news use. So I'll leave it there. But now there's going to be a huge divisiveness. Period. All right.
You've already they're already forming up sides.
Yeah, the Republicans are saying, y'all just wait until we take over the Senate.
Yeah, they already telling us that they're
trying to make it like it's political and
us against them, and they don't know they work for the United States citizens.
And this is my problem with all of that. Okay, and Backwood Brad did. He'll be on shortly. This is my problem with all of that. So why are we voting if they're going to? Because all they're doing is I know. Thousands of years, hundreds of years,
gangs,
blah blah blah. We fought for right to vote and this and that. Okay, but right now, they don't care about us.
No, they're going cripping bloodshed.
They're fighting each other now. They're fighting. All of the Senate, the government is fighting each other.
So
what about us?
That's crazy.
What about people?
It's not right now. The way it seems to be going is not necessarily about the people. It's the Republicans against the Democrats, against the independents, against the conservatives. And it's like, what do I want? What am I going to get out of this? And it's like, okay, I thought we put you in office to take care of what's best for the people of the United States. And it's, and that's why I always get on the people about get your butts out there. Vote, find out about the politicians beforehand. If they've already been in office, check to see what policies they've promised and things that what are the things that the issues they promised
they actually deliver.
Right. And did they actually deliver on that? Did they try to deliver on that? Because just because they promised or something, did they really try to go through? Because just because they're trying does not mean that necessarily it's going to go through. Get out and vote. Your vote counts.
Yes. Do your due diligence, just like Marcella just said. Do your due diligence. Get your butt up. Pick up a newspaper, or if you're old school, get the daggone internet. Look at the ballot and look what these people are doing. I mean, all you have to do is do a Google search on each one of them. You'll find out exactly what they're doing, what they mean.
This is exactly why. I'm sorry, Maurice. This is exactly why. Speaking about business, trying to create your own business is necessary. Because if you get yourself to a position, this stuff that's going on, that's happening out here, it won't bother you. You know, you'll be concerned, okay, but you set yourself in a position where some of the stuff that's going on is not going to affect you as much as it's going to affect someone who doesn't have a plan. You know,
Right.
And you also have a platform that you can speak to people, and people will will listen to you.
Yeah.
People from your communities will hear you.
There needs to be a lot of that.
Well, there needs to be a lot of communication with the constituency because of you got to be able to inform them so they can take that information, do their due diligence, and find out if this is really what you're doing, or if what you plan on doing if you've never been in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, that gets really it gets really crazy. This just works in the gangs to me. You know, think about it, red and blue.
Don't get me started.
It is worse than the gangs to me. I mean, and they telling us what they're gonna do out in front of bold face, right out in the public. What freaking politician would you vote for that would say that kind of crap? You know?
They're gonna vote for me anyway.
They're just telling you right off the bat. Look, I don't care for the constituency over there because of whatever. They brown, they purple, they green. You know what I mean? They're just telling you right off the bat. I am a straight up unadulterated racist, and I'll tell them to their face they are. You know, the stuff that they uphold and versus what we put them in office for is two totally different things. You know, the self-serving, narcissistic bull. It's just
and again, they're in it. You know, this is the same thing when Trump got in office. He had to defend himself, so he going back and forth with the you know, and not worrying about not trying to do anything for this country. I don't even know how the gas is going down. Did somebody say? Did they make a mistake?
No.
Let's not talk about. Oh Lord, have mercy. I'm cool with it too, but you know, just suddenly it's like, okay, yeah, it's like they got their bellies full. The belly's so full they can't take no more money. So we're gonna let y'all have y'all 2 or 3 cents. You know,
but we still funding money over to that situation in Russia too. I heard it was another where we getting all this money from?
Think about it.
People still homeless in the street. Where are we getting this money from?
Come on.
The industrial military complex is definitely in effect right now. So we building all this stuff to send over there. Plus, we send the money. So guess what that does? The Republicans say, okay, that keeps everybody employed. You know, the people down here in Alabama that we do business with, that keeps them employed. You know, making bullets and guns and all that other stuff.
Damn that. Okay,
so
I'm sorry.
But you know what?
The thing is to take you always.
That's what they say. Let's do that.
Home first, individually. Don't we take care of home first before we go and do some other stuff out there? Take care of home first.
I'm with you right, bro.
What were we saying, Marcella?
We have to, you know, we can't just say to heck with these other countries, because we have to be out here to help other countries as well. Because if we get in a bind, we might need their help as well. So, but
when was the last time the United States was on?
Okay, but the thing is, the world is changing. You know, the world is changing, and so you know things happen. Everything is changing, so you have to. You can't just we're not going to help other countries and other people. And then you never know. You might get two. Russia and China decide, okay, America's a superpower.
They already
and
there.
Correct. And both of them are superpowers as well. And let's say they get together, and then we sitting out here butt out because we didn't help other countries. So we have to look at it in that manner as well.
Yeah, I never said don't help, okay? But we helped once, then we helped twice, then we helped three times.
At the tune of billions. Not
we got to help ourselves as well, though, too.
Billions.
Yeah, you can't help anybody else. You can't help yourself, man. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you get out there. Yeah.
Anyway, man, look,
billions.
We today, man, we are going to be talking with Backwood Brad, talking about, we're going to get a little deeper into this business, okay? So without further ado, let's bring him on, man. What's going on, bro?
Hey, what's going on, bro? Hey, how we doing?
Good. What's going on, man?
Good. Appreciate you coming. Appreciate you coming back and hanging out with us, bro.
Yes.
legitimately.
We
Thank you.
enjoyed you so much. We wanted you again.
And I'm grateful for that. We got a lot to talk about.
Let's do it,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
But before everything starts, okay, and I like to be, y'all know I like to be transparent with some stuff, okay? So after talking last night, especially when we were behind the scenes, I said, you know, well, look, it's Backwood Brad. You know, we need to get something going with Backwood Brad, okay? Need to get a segment going or something like that with Backwood Brad, okay? It would be, look, I contacted, I'm gonna tell her name too. What's her name? I work, man. Okay, I work.
He said, I contacted.
I work.
He already moving and shaking.
I can't help it. Her name is Kim Reed. Now,
Okay.
Kim Reed, in case no one knows, she's the president and CEO at ITG Brands. ITG Brands is the parent company of what? Backwoods. All right. So we having conversations, me and Kim Reed. We having some conversations. All right. So, hey, man, look, that's what you're supposed to do. Okay. You see something, you think about it, try to implement it. You can't, you know, there may be a no, you know, but whatever. All right. She ain't the only player in the game. Right now you are, Kim, but you know, not the only player in the game. You know, you do what you do, man, and you make sure that you can network and implement stuff. She had a link of yesterday's show. She checked it. She said she's going to check it out and all of that stuff. So we're going to go anyway. Backwood, man. Let's get into this, man. So we missed a lot of stuff yesterday, and you were talking backstage after we got off the air about a lot of other stuff that I think that people need to hear. Maurice, what was the conversation that you and Backwood were having?
We're just having, conversations of how, the record companies have been doing artists, and that was about 80 to 90% of it right there. How the artist was being done by the record companies, and some of these artists that we were talking about yesterday, while we were on the show, like Mike Jones, he ain't there no more. There's a whole bunch of artists, that started off, and I remember telling Backwood last night that one of the A&Rs was telling me, yeah, we just took him to Walmart, bought him some white tees and some blue jeans and some gym shoes, and that's what he went on stage and for that show that night.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
So Backwood, I mean, what in your opinion, what brings the demise of a rapper who's on top at 1 minute and all of a sudden is gone? What brings that demise?
I think it's probably a combination of like vulnerability and probably confidence at the same time, because when we see it more probably like in like the acting community, like actors that maybe used to be on top and then they start to get like maybe not as good as of movie roles, or maybe they're on like Comedy Central and now they're getting roasted or something like that.
Tisha Campbell.
You know what I mean? In the music community, they don't really have anything like that for them. Like in the music community, if you're not doing big time albums, they don't talk about you. So in a sense, I don't know if as many artists just like aren't there as much as the powers that be don't give them their platforms anymore. I think that happens more often than not. Now, that's not saying that some money ain't getting messed up, you know what I'm saying, in between, but most artists, I think, being vulnerable, hey, these sales ain't doing what they used to, hey, I'm out here faking it way more than I'm making it right now. They go try to establish themselves with another label or some other type of entity, and I think that a lot of times is when it goes wrong. Because timing is everything, right? Timing is so much in this, and nobody wants to admit they're lucky, right? Everybody wants to act like they're that artist, et cetera, et cetera. Timing and luck has so much to do with it.
Yep, without a doubt. I mean, you being in the right place in the right time has a lot to do with it. Because I know some artists that are just plain poop, but their hustle is on 110. You're like, how in the hell are they getting played on the radio? This dude hustle is like, this mug is hustling when he's asleep. You know what I'm saying? Wake up in the morning, next day, hustle hard, hustling hard. And the record really sucks, but he got the right people in the right places to get it done. You know what I mean?
So part of that though, not the when they fall, not listening and being so full of themselves and thinking, okay, I got this hit record out there right now, and I'm gonna lead these clowns, okay, and I'm gonna do it on my own now. You know, I see I'm the one making the money.
I think it's more of being lazy. One thing, the other thing I ran into is being lazy. You know, you tell them, hey, you need to do X, Y, and Z to get this rocking. They say, okay, you know, I'm good. My people gonna take care of it. People don't do nothing. They don't even know what to do. You know what I mean? But my people gonna take care of it. You know, they put you off. Then you put them on the back burner. Now they talking about some, hey, how come you ain't doing with me? You know, messing with me no more. Well, I told you what you need to do. You know,
It's
the
not
hustle ain't
listening
up.
also.
Ain't wasn't listening when I told you what to do. You know what I mean? You got to be able to take direction. You got to be able to, and you got to be able to get out there and get it on, because it just ain't gonna do that fairy tale stuff like on TV. If it does, usually you're gonna lose a lot of money. If you got a big old hit and the record company's looking at you really, really hard, and and they putting a lot of money behind you, and you're doing your your concerts and stuff, you're gonna lose a lot of money if you don't know that business, if you don't know what to do in those situations. So, you know, either you get up there and hustle hard, and you know you already hooked up with, you know, your own independent label, you got your stuff cooking. The major may come along to boost some money or sponsor some stuff for you, but that's all you want from them. You want some sponsorship so you can continue to do your concert. You know what I mean? Maybe later on when the money get bigger, but you know the business. You know you just not gonna get took for this ride, you know, going on this concert, and you paying for the whole damn concert, be paying for taxes forever, you know.
So I like go ahead. Sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
How important is it to know the business side? Because a lot, like you just said, a lot of people don't listen, and they don't really think they really need to know the business side of the industry.
That's the first thing you should be doing.
It's integral in my opinion. I look at it like this. So like I played basketball, you know what I mean? So like as a point guard, I needed to know the center's position. I needed to know the power forward's position, as well as my guards, my wings. Now, a lot of people think like, why do you need to know other people's positions? Because in order to see interchangeable basketball, like on the court, to look like it's positionless, everybody has to know the job of the next person. I like to initiate that same thought process into the music business. So what I think happens with a lot of artists is that, especially ones on major labels and things like that, that big amount of money that they got going to advertising, going to marketing, going to clothing and wardrobe and things like that, if you're not watching that. So let's say I know $250,000 is allotted for my marketing and my advertising. Now, I don't actually know how that piece of the machine works, right? So to me, I see the expense report. Oh, I spent $250 on advertising, bet I'm good. So the disconnect is that people don't understand the relationships and how that piece actually works. So you think anybody with 50 to 100K should be able to do that job. And that's wrong without knowing the position and how it actually functions. So you don't know if you're getting ripped off. You could look like the wardrobe situation. Have Mike Jones know, bro, y'all got 5K allotted to my wardrobe and just spent $38? Those type of things. You don't find that out, Miss Marcel, sometimes until it's too late. Yeah. So 5-6 years down the road, you're wondering like, yo, I had $5 million off that last album. Oh, by the way, Brad, 4.68 million has went to all of this stuff. What the? Ain't no way, like that. You find out too late, and then, you signed away publishing rights. You signed away writers' credits. That's when it's getting tricky. You're like, oh, I'm going to recover these costs. I just got this song. I got that song. Nah, you're not even on the credits the way you thought you were. So in my opinion, it's integral not to just know the business, but you have to have someone you can trust who is by your side, not taking advantage of you. Full circle. This hits the MC Hammer thing. He's providing for hundreds of people that are taking advantage of it, not giving back to him. So like Greg was saying, when all that money ran out, so did they. Peace, Hammer. And that's the problem, because outside looking in, it looks like Mike Jones failed. It looks like Hammer can't manage his stuff, when in reality, no, they were trying to do the most and were brought down from inside. How everything collapses from inside. We know that.
Right.
Yeah. Can you talk about masters and owning your masters versus being an independent artist?
So there's a couple of different ways that you can attack this. what I encourage every artist to do is go out, and if you don't have the money to do it, save the money to do it. Because if you just put a song on SoundCloud or on YouTube and you don't own your writing or your publishing yet, and take it a step further, none of this is copywritten or trademarked or registered under your brand. So like there's a lot you can get away with, like the poor man's copyright if you have a brand or a like a LLC type thing. You can register everything under, right? For most of us, we may not be able to purchase an LLC or afford a $400 or $500 copyright type, stamp.
Yeah.
So then you need to own your writers and your publishing to protect yourself and the actual work you're doing. So you can do this with performance rights organizations, PROs. A lot of the distribution opportunities they have, like the TuneCores of the world, the CD Babies, they will cover that for you. But once you decide to leave that platform, say you've been working with CD Baby for 2 years. Now I'm going to switch to United Masters now. If you have not registered your own music with PROs, now when you leave that platform, you still own your music, but now it's not registered with any of the people who's been collecting the additional royalties for you. So when you sign back up, you have to hope that starts over. Whereas you could have covered your own in the beginning by being covered by ASCAP or BMI and something of that nature. That's super cheap. For $50 with BMI gets you writers. $50 gets you publishing. For $100, you can buy them both, writers and publishers. This is something I encourage artists to do because it's a step in the ownership realm. It's like working for a company that provides things for you. The more you can provide for that company, the less you have to ask for from the jump.
Yep. Most labels won't. If you're going to go the label route, most of them want you, pretty up on your stuff. Now they still going to try some stuff with you, especially if you don't have an entertainment lawyer backing you. If you don't have an entertainment lawyer, I mean, even everything Brad just said, if it ain't tight, they're going to get in there. They know the business better than you do. So a lot of people stay independent to keep all that from happening, to keep all that headache from happening. Just remember, if you out there and you're trying to get it on and you want to go independent, if you want to do independent. If you go major, you remember, get your damn lawyer. The most inexpensive way to do it is independently. You do it independently because you're following the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, and 8 times out of 10, if you get to the right distribution spot where they're doing your publishing and all that stuff for you, and you pay those master fees that are right there, stay there. You basically turn yourself into a label right there. And
so why isn't there any type of classes or trainings,
master's classes?
Just like when I opened my daycare, there were classes I had to take in order for me to know how to run a daycare. But I see a lot of musicians out here and artists out here that's just come out here and either they feel like they know it or they're learning it from the streets.
Miss Gina, that's a problem with our profession. I was saying that yesterday. Had we been more professional with hip hop, there's real jobs in hip hop. They don't take us seriously because we don't take ourselves seriously.
Thanks.
We don't require, there's no requirements. There isn't. We let anybody in. And I'm not just saying that generally, like keep certain race. No, everybody's welcome if you meet these requirements. Should have been the rules, but that was never what was done. It turned into a whole bunch of other things.
Free fall.
Facts. But like Miss Gina, like what you're asking about, a lot of that isn't required. A lot of that is offered. I got to take this time to shout out my brother, Mickey Fax. Mickey Fax is an OG in the game for me. I got some people that's close with him with mutual friends and stuff. I've known Mickey for a lot, like 2014, 2015, had a good relationship. He's doing what they call Pendulum Inc. He has a bunch of different well-known artists, like the big name artists of the world. He'll have on there, and they're giving seminars. Now he charges, I think it's like $50 like a class. That's more than reasonable to get $1 million worth of information.
Man, that's way more. Think about this though, Brad. They'll spend more than that just trying to get in the door, so somebody else can do all that stuff for them and screw them, to open up for somebody or to get in front of so-called A&R. They'll pay $200 or $300 to get in front of an AR and do a show in front of 30, 40 other people that the A&R is pulling $200 a piece up for.
I would think somebody out here would, for lack of a better word, capitalize on that.
True that.
And really put it out there where, you know, I've never heard of who you just mentioned. And I never knew there was a class anyone could take. But I would think somebody would get out here and capitalize on that so that, you know, it can go in a better direction.
You know,
Now, I was going to say, now what you're saying would speak to the growth of the individual within hip hop. That was never the goal. That's why the labels are the biggest. The artist was never the biggest. The label's the biggest. That's the problem. These entities became bigger than the actual art. That should have never happened. The art gallery is not bigger than the pictures that they're selling. That's the disconnect. We've literally lost value in the art and literally compromised everything just to be a part of something. I want to be on Def Jam. We don't give a fuck what Def Jam means anymore. You know what I mean? Like, that's where we're at. The nostalgia of doing what our greats did, you know what I mean? Like following the same path. But like we talked about yesterday, they lie about a lot of that. They're not telling us the truth.
Yeah.
Well, they're not giving us the whole truth, is what it is. They're giving us partial of it.
And I used to dance back in the day, and something we had were the master's classes. And I remember when they first mentioned that, I was like, well, what is that? And that's when some of the professionals came out to actually teach us the different types of dance. And it really helped. And that's something that we were told that even the top people, they have the classes. And that's something I'd actually, sent something to my group about master's classes. So is that what you're saying, that your friend Mickey Fax he has kind of like master's classes to kind of teach those who are interested?
Now, to my knowledge, this is borderlining actually being accredited and recognized by like curriculums to where you can actually receive college course credits for this.
Right. Okay.
So Mickey's doing his damnedest, working with the people he needs to. And there's a lot of moving pieces in here. I'm just giving a lot of people deserve credit for this. My brother Mickey Fax, I'm just more familiar with his role in it, so to say, than what the other pieces are. I'm not a part of Pendulum Inc., not like any spiteful reason. I just got my own stuff going on. So opportunistically, that is a good thing for a lot of people who are looking for a lot of the surface to entry level information that is required, not needed, not maybe you need it. Like, this is a requirement, in my opinion, to know the differences between performance and mechanical royalties. Why you need more than just a PRO, why you need a CMO, why you need something like literally, you need all of these things. The CMO is the collective management organizations, the Song Trust of the world, the Sound Exchange. These entities are not even expensive. Song Trust is a one-time fee, $100, register songs for a lifetime. Now, what they do is they collect the other rights. So like you have performance rights, recording rights, and broadcasting rights. Performance rights are only paid out by your PROs. So in order to get the rest of what comes along with that, what they call neighboring rights, you have to be associated with, like I said, a collective management organization, which is it's cheap. It's really inexpensive in retrospect to like what Mo was saying about the amount of money people will invest just to speak to somebody or sit in front of, listen to my music, dog. Bro, you wasted $500 that really could have been invested in establishing yourself. You know what I mean?
Well, they could have took that and educated themselves more, And that's a whole bunch of money right there to spend on educating yourself. And the only reason why I was kind of, at first, a lot of people were saying, Pops, you're giving away too much. You're giving away too much. You should be charging. I said, look at here, man. They scalping you. These dudes was running around charging these guys $2,500. I understand you got to get paid for your time, but for what they was charging them $2,500 for, dude, it was free. And I showed them where to go on the internet to do it. And dude came up to me, man, you messed up my hustle and all that. Let me tell you something. You was screwing people over as far as I'm concerned. If you was really giving them some for real shit, I would have been like,
I wanted to address something this said real quick. And Ron Reed said, I used to dance back in the day. She's talking about Marcy's comment. Marcy, we want to clarify that too. You didn't pole dance. What kind of dance?
I just commented. Jazz, tap, ballet, modern, for musicals, plays, things of that nature.
to me.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Exotic dancing.
Just wanted to make sure you wasn't going something strange for a piece of change. You know what I mean? Something strange for a piece of change. All right.
You know what? One other thing I want to address, you know, because I know that Prince changed the industry a lot, because one of the things that he did in his studios, I think he had 7 studios. One of the things that he had artists to do when they came to record in his studio, he would make them sign a waiver that they would not sell their music to the record industry, that they had to pretty much work their own music, because he felt like the record industries were taking all the money for all the hard work that artists put in.
He was
That's one of
absolutely
the
correct.
reasons he's not here anymore, but that's just my opinion. So
I think you're wrong.
at two questions here. At what point do artists start their own label? Like, when do they decide, okay, I'm going to start my own label instead of because the first thing an artist want to do is get their music in front of someone already up there. Second question is, why isn't there more artists out there helping those little people or first coming out artists, so that we don't have these kind of, you know, all of this backstabbing going on? If we were trying to lift up the next person, wouldn't that help the artists that are already there?
So let me get a piece of that real quick, okay? Piece of that.
No, I agree.
Number one, from this is just me saying this. A lot of these younger artists, okay, they don't have the patience. You know, they don't listen. They don't listen to the. How many young people listen to this right now? Okay, you know what I'm saying? They don't listen, so they think they can do everything themselves. All right, which why I want to ask you guys, Brad and Mo, later. You know, explain that 360 deal and how it's not in favor of the artist. Okay, but go ahead and answer Gina's question, Brad.
In my opinion, it's a combination of things. So a lot of it is a tendency to be that gatekeeping mentality that a lot of older people who maybe weren't as successful or maybe teeter-tottered with success, so they feel like they can do like what Mo B was saying, charge you $2,500 for this or that. I think a lot of it is borderline between that and the unfamiliarity of what to actually do next. So to somebody who is unaware of the business, you can sound smart and intelligent. I'm not going to sit up here and act like I'm a Puff Daddy like mogul with business knowledge of the industry. No, I know enough to protect myself from just somebody taking my music. I'm not any further with labels and things like that, so to say. But directly with this, I don't think that artists aren't helping the next one as much. I think that's the disconnect. The one that is looking for help thinks that that's all he needs, is to just be in front of said business person, said A&R, said record owner. That isn't always the case either. So us, like people who have actually been in the industry for so long, the process, as Ron's talking about, there's literally a lot of work that goes into it. The idea that it happens overnight is misinformation. Yeah. Even the people you think it happens overnight for, these people have been working forever. We talk about, like, I'll bring up Future. Future, with his uncles in the Dungeon family. He was actually writing for them at 13, 14 years old. That was no mistake that he comes in doing what he does. Designer's another one. We don't hear about Designer no more. That Panda, that song, right? That dude was writing for people way before that. Early 2010, 2011, 2012, he's selling songs to get his opportunity. Not to digress, there's a lot that goes into the opportunity space of being a songwriter versus being the actual main act and attraction. There's so much in the entertainment playing field that gets lost on the internet, in my opinion. So I don't know if it's as much as it doesn't happen, Miss Gina, as much as it's not spoke of. Why would people who control everything want you to know people you can talk to? Why would they want you to be able to go to help? You know what I mean? Like, why would they leave that door open for you if they're charging the 15 or 2,500? In my opinion.
you know, like you naming those artists that done put it in already. You know, one of those artists a lot of people don't know, they've been doing it since he was 6 years old. That's Bruno Mars. You know,
Shout out to Bruno.
yeah, I mean, 6 years old. I challenge you to go on the internet and look Bruno Mars up 6 years old. He was doing Elvis impressions.
So I was in
Michael
Hawaii
Jackson
with Bruno.
impressions
Yeah.
too.
I was in Hawaii with Bruno. Bruno literally is performing at all ages spot called Zanzibar's. He was performing out just doing like what they call sunset on the beach. He just set up with a guitar and a band. Like Jack Johnson used to be out there playing on the beach the same way before anybody even knew who these cats were. And then like they're big mogul, you know, stars now, but like the
But
work
they put it in.
for that. Crazy.
And I like to tell anybody that's listening to this show right now that's do not be scared of technology. Technology is your friend now. You know, right now, this is the easy. I look at it right now versus back in the day. You had to put it in because everything was a book. You're gonna have to read. You're gonna have to talk to some folks that you trust. You know, versus getting the truth. 99.9% of the time, when you get on there and you go look at, say, Puff Daddy, there's going to be some truth and there's going to be some fake stuff. But most of the time, the truth bubbles up to the top on everything that happens. And you know that's the truth. So, you know, don't be scared of technology. Get out there, look at it, because it's a lot of stuff like licensing, like you were talking about earlier, B. And, you know, getting out there and getting with some of these distribution spots. Man, it's so much y'all got on the internet versus what we had. One of those things that when we had artists here in Nashville, I said, if you can't, if I don't know, we're gonna find out. We'd sit down on Saturdays and just dig. Don't be scared to do it, you know. And once they found out how easy it is, you know what I mean? It's like, man, Pops, yeah, exactly. Y'all spending all this money. What you got to remember, whatever little cash they're gonna get, they're gonna put 22 people in front of. And these people are doing the stuff you should have done before you even came to the table. You know?
Yeah.
Simple.
Everybody say what's up to the coach, life coach.
What's happening, Jeff?
Hey, Jeff.
What's going on, y'all? Excuse me for my
Brad,
tardiness, y'all.
Are you fine?
It's okay.
Brad, you mentioned about mechanical royalties, performance royalties, and I know there, like you said, there are others like the synchronization royalties, print music, streaming royalties. Can you kind of break that down for those that don't know exactly what that is and how that plays a part in not owning your own masters?
For sure. So there's percentages and everything. When you register your music, every, like whether via the distribution, like a DistroKid or a CD Baby, you know, United Masters, or when you actually go on the ASCAP, BMI, Song Trust, CSAC, whatever, you know what I'm saying, you register with, it'll ask you percentages and it starts to ask. And it breaks it down into two different portions. You have the writer side of it, and within the writer side of it is the composition. So a lot of people don't even understand your producer is going to be on this. So you can have 100% of writer's credits, but you didn't compose this at all.
No.
So you're losing percentages already, and there's a lot of just little small pieces that go into that.
Unless you're a prince.
100%. You know what I mean? So when you start breaking it down into different percentages, let's say I got 50% of writer's credits, right? So when you start to break that down on the mechanical side of it, I'm getting 50% of sales, 50% of streams. On the performance side of it, I'm only getting 50% of the recording, of the broadcasting. And if there happens to be the print music royalties, like the sheet, like we wrote the music, that's a whole different, you know, amount of percentage that you would break down as well. So just in all of the royalties, breaking them down, that's why I say it's important, because DistroKid or CD Baby, they do not collect all of your royalties. They don't collect the sync. They don't collect all the neighboring rights. They only collect one. So that's why it's important to be covered in different places and figure out what works for you. Some cover more than others. Like I said, the CD Babies of the world and things like that will act like a PRO for you to an extent, but other ones may not. Like there's ones like Ditto, Louder, SoundCloud, Reverb Nation. Those ones like that offer the platforms, but don't give you as much of the other things, protective ones.
Exactly.
Can you break down PROs for those? I don't know if you did already, exactly what that is for those who don't know.
It's a so PRO stands for Performance Rights Organization. And here in America, we have the two main ones are ASCAP and BMI. And like I said, these collect, these help. Go ahead, Mo.
No, I'm just saying both of those are here.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah.
So then CSAC is the one that is used over in Europe. So if you're an artist that does things overseas internationally, that's something to consider when registering your music. Because if you're streaming overseas, you're not getting that portion of the sales and streams and mechanical royalties because it's not your PRO's fault. They're doing their job. You have to find the one that takes care of you over there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, a lot of artists go overseas to get started.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's when they start to hit that wall and don't understand.
They pay overseas.
Yeah, but it seems like that's when they get successful, though.
Facts.
But too, there's a lot of different.
They get a certain amount of success overseas, but the task is to come back here and to get it the same type of success. Okay, only a few bands have done it. Only a few groups have done that.
Exactly.
Hey, everybody, shout out my publicist, Katina Fields. She's watching.
Hi, how are
Hey,
you?
what's going on?
She's doing a lot, man, right now. So shout out to her. Love you, girl, and keep up the good work. Also, you got Daniel, the real Shouse. That's what it says. Daniel, the real Shouse on there.
Oh yeah.
Jadonna, she says, hey, to Arthur Mathis. Okay, we are sitting here talking with Backwood Brad and Moby. We learning this business, all right? Making sure that you got this business and business knowledge and get out there the right way, okay? Now, I was asking earlier, man, a thing that a lot of these artists are reaching for, and I don't know why they do it, is this 360 deal, all right? I've been told some good things about it, some bad things about it. Backwood Brad, Mo, y'all break that down, man.
It depends on who. I mean, I don't care too much for the daggone deals at all, the 360 deals, but it depends on who you rolling with, because you got some 360 deals that can put you on up out there, but it's the negotiation power that you got to have when you sit down and take that deal. Is this going to be for a season or this going to be for our life? You know what I'm saying? That's the deal. The 360 deal is they get a piece of everything. They get a piece of anything that you would have to do with movies, your records, your publishing, everything. No matter what your stuff hit, they get a piece of it. So it depends on what kind of deal you write with that.
Well, what's the benefit in that? Why would you want to take
exposure? Again, it depends on who you with. You got cats that will jump out there and young. It's usually happens to the young cats that jump out on 360 deals. They're young out. They'll jump out there for 2 or 3 years. They 20 years old. They 22 when it's done. You know what I'm saying? So either they're going to be wore out, or they're going to be done with the whole business, or they're going to succeed. The thing about it is taking the opportunity to do what you need to do. You know what? You know who's the king of that? Kanye West. They tried to throw him on the back burner. Couldn't do it.
So I'm going to ask you this. I'm going to ask both of y'all this. With the 360 deal, is it something that where, like you said, I know you said people can benefit or it could be a bad thing, but I kind of see that as a bad thing, because could it be to where you kind of since you're giving away half, you pretty much, it sounds like to me you're giving away half. You say all of it, piece of everything.
Sometimes more than that, yeah.
Okay, so it's more than that. So you end up giving out more than you actually put out. Is that what I'm hearing?
If you don't educate yourself, and you don't want to do those things that we just was talking about, that's what's going to happen on a 360 deal. You're going to get took, educate yourself and make sure that when you go in the door and you sit down with this person and so-called going to give you a deal, that first of all, they know what you're talking about. They sitting down there, they talking all this, no, 360, and we're going to give you this, and we're going to do this, we're going to do that for you. Sometimes they'll take you in there, sit you down, and give you a little bit of money and call you a 360 deal, and just to shut you down to keep another artist cracking.
Brad, what you say about that?
What you have to be careful about in the 360 deal is when your likeness is being used, or they have rights to your likeness. So that is literally you everywhere. So it's good. It can be good and bad. And that's why you have to be careful on the percentage that you receive and what they receive in your 360 deal, and be careful about exactly what it entails. Like Mo was saying, if you have a certain length of it, a year, 2 years, 3 years, these are things that for sure we can work through for the right reasons, because we know we're going to be here for a lifetime. But what a lot of people end up doing is signing away their likeness forever. So when you see artists trying to rebrand or change their names and things of that nature, a lot of that potentially has to do directly with they've signed away their likeness. So they really can't do anything outside of that 360 deal. So say you got a 360 deal where you still have, 50-60% of your likeness. Now you can go out and do other things outside of your deal. A lot of these artists get trapped inside the deal to where they can't do it. They can't even brush their teeth without telling the label. You know what I mean?
Think about Prince. He changed his name intentionally because of that. It wasn't a 360 deal. That was a deal he was just unhappy with, but he knew he could do it.
Yep.
He changed his name to the sign,
Okay.
Ron says Trivial Foreign with the $5,000 signing bonus. I think some of these young guys are coming from dire circumstances, and they're so afraid that these record executives might ruin them if they don't sign. Brad, you mentioned Diddy last night. Some of those cats on Making the Band seem terrified of Diddy. Or more.
Have y'all ever heard about the Jay-Z? No, y'all ever heard about the Jay-Z rule in hip hop? Like, that's what I'm like. I get chills talking about it. Like that's one of those things. How can I not say nothing about Jay?
Where do you think the whole come from?
What's the Jay-Z rule?
Yeah, what's the Jay-Z rule?
I've never heard of that.
Just but like literally, you can't say nothing about Hov on a track. Look, like this is rhetorical, but like 50 Cent tried to do that. It almost ruined his career.
It burnt him bad.
100% lost, damn near lost the vitamin water thing. Like there's so much that goes into. There's a reason why Jay-Z was the first black billionaire, and then there's a reason why Puffy is. You cannot burn either of these people. You can't talk bad about them. You can't even say you don't like their outfits. Like
wow.
That's the way that it works.
Talking to them in a negative light and get your whole career shut down.
Blackballed. 100% get blackballed. Literally, even if you still get work, you'll get blackballed.
Well, Kanye has gotten to that point to where and a lot of people still don't really give about Kanye, but Kanye is one of those kind of cats that he don't care. He just do not give a damn. I mean, no, I mean it's not necessarily scary as it is. I call it driven. He do what he
I get my money right. He told us that a long time ago.
Yeah. He's driven. I mean, the man is driven. If you have a chance to look at that documentary on Netflix,
I saw
have a chance to look at that.
It was excellent.
It shows how driven he was, and the crazy came out later on, way later on. And when we say crazy, that's crazy to us, but for him, it's perfectly normal because it's his drive.
Exactly.
And
I was in that Netflix. I was in that documentary.
I know you were. I know you were, Greg.
Yes, you were in the documentary.
But driven, drive. That like I told y'all earlier, that right there, you be surprised how much these artists that just don't have any talent at all. You think about them, and they get on the radio.
We got to squeeze a little bit more in, but Marcella, go ahead and introduce the coach. Put some fire.
Okay. Look, I was this is so good. I forgot all about this. So let's hold on.
What about you, Cole?
Hold on. We're gonna wait a minute. We're gonna redirect, regroup, and refocus with our very own life coach, Jeff Relaford.
All right.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? So I just want to challenge y'all to really think about this real quick. I want you to think about success and how it's measured. Success isn't measured by the wins or the losses, but it's measured by the lessons that you learn throughout business and life. Think about that. Success is not measured by the wins and the losses that you have, but it's measured by the lessons that you go through in business and life. So what happens is you may go down the wrong path one moment, but guess what? You have a chance to correct it. You know what I mean? You have a chance to control the narrative of what your better, best, and infinity beyond that can be in terms of happiness with what you want to be satisfied with in life. So I challenge you, yo. Stop looking at the wins and the losses. Stop keeping tally with other people, other businesses, other people who are in the same industry as you. Be uniquely yourself and apply those life lessons, like I said, for business and personal to your success, and then see how far you get. I guarantee you will be satisfied with the decisions that you make. And if you do happen to make the wrong turn, instead of beating yourself up, you will actually take the right direction because you'll take accountability.
All right, that's what's up, man. That is the life coach, Jeff Relaford. Redirect, regroup, refocus. Man. Make sure you guys check him out on Mondays. He has his own podcast. It's short but sweet. All right, getting straight to the point. Okay, and purchase those socks that he wears on his head. I mean, those are just interesting.
That's what they here for, people. You go natural.
You know, hey, Ron Reed wanted to comment on the what you guys were talking about, Jay-Z and Diddy. He said if any of us got beat in an elevator by our wife's sister, we would have got dragged. These rappers had nothing to say. They knew what was best for their careers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
Don't say nothing.
I mean, not even trying to be funny. Like, I love, like, no disrespect to Dr. Dre, but I grew up watching my mother get beat. How that just gets swept underneath the rug. There's powers that be that literally can manipulate and hide anything. I don't want to say that there's not other black billionaires, you know, that are pieces of crap, but there's a lot of things morally that these men have done. Is that billion really worth it? Like, should these really be your heroes?
That's true.
Respectfully.
But isn't that expected, man? That once you put yourself at a certain echelon, a stature, that you become a role model automatically.
But see, that's the problem. And I think that caters to what Jeff was saying a little bit when people are looking for the landmarks to indicate their success. I think the ace to that. If you don't have those, you start to look at your own boxes, quote unquote, you have to check. Like, there's a lot of celebrities that will joke, you know, oh, he ain't checking enough boxes to be like me. Like, bro, what does that even mean? Like, if I'm involved in my community, if I'm helping other people, if I got people who are telling me that this music changed their life, forget what boxes you do and don't want me to check.
Come on. Facts, bro. Facts.
Yeah. You done did it.
Wow, I can't even believe it's been an hour, man. This is. Let me ask you, Backwood Brad, would you take a 360 deal?
And to aid to what I don't want to say no to go into what Mo said. We're gonna sit down. We're gonna figure it out. So I got to look at it realistically. I'm 35. I have a 478 credit score. I live check to check, Miss Gina. I'm trying my hardest to make it. If I had the opportunity and somebody thought I was worth the 360 deal, let's sit down and talk about this and see what's right for Brad. I've been living off $16K a year for the last 5-6 years. So I'm not going to sell my soul, but if I can give them 85% of something for a year and a half to put me in a position to maybe get on a Joe Budden podcast, or maybe, you know, get out there and work with somebody, maybe get a spot on a big stage at South by Southwest. If that's what a year and a half takes in a 360 deal, I'm not opposed to that. But I'm opposed to giving my likeness away for 5 or 10 years, selling it away to Backwood Brad. I'm opposed to those type of things for the longevity. I'm 35. My time is not over, nor do I think my window's closing. But if I give away what little I have, you know what I mean? Then I'm the one we're having the conversation about next week. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't change.
Right. Yeah, facts, bro. And that's definitely facts, without a doubt. You know, like I said, it just depends on the deal. How much exposure do you want? How much do you want to give? I mean, you think yeah.
Go ahead, wisdom.
Go ahead, Maurice.
No, I was just saying how much you want to give. I mean, the average 360 deal is given by they usually go up to the young guys and they sit that down in front of them, say, look, you're going to tour with Jay-Z, you're going to tour with, you know, G Unit or whatever, whoever. And guess what? We're going to get you in a couple of movies. We're going to get you some Master P movies. I'm just using some examples. It's not just hypothetical, you know, and it could be him just sitting on a bench in the movie. And, you know, Master P could have doled out 50 grand, but 9 times out of 10, he won't see a penny of that, but he gets a Paramount credit. That's putting your resume together. A lot of people don't know that, you know. Okay. You get a Paramount credit, you start getting movie credits, you get Paramount credit. That's in your resume.
Wow.
If you're opening for, you know, Jay-Z or G Unit or something, you're going to get some exposure. Trust me. Oh, yeah. You're going to get some exposure. So it depends on, again, what you want to do, you know.
So that goes back to what Brad said. If it takes that year and a half or whatever to kind of get out there, he's willing to do that. Okay, I see.
It's in your game plan.
I think that artists need to keep in mind too is that before we ever have a budget from a label, bro, we've had a budget out here. You understand? So like that's why I said for me, I know I can make it off 16 to 20K. So why am I going to compromise everything and take 500 or 600K because I never had it? You know what I mean? So just so I could put so and so in a house and have a car. Nah, that's the sacrifice. I could take 500K right now or take 50K. Give me the 50K and don't take nothing that allows me to make that 500. Whereas once you take the 500, they've taken away any and every ability you have until they recoup that 500.
That's right.
That's the difference.
So if you're in the 360 deal, because it's a known fact, I guess, that if you go out there on and perform a lot, you can get some money. Okay, so if you can't do that on your own if a 360 deal is in place.
Especially not if you find away your likeness.
Let me tell you something. This is what's so crazy. You got artists that's hitting hard. You know, they got bars for days. And, you know, a major want them to come in and just throw 16 down. They can't even do that, you know, for $100 grand. They can't do that.
Take it a step further, OG. So like we'll take it into like school and make it more political, right? When I signed my scholarship, I signed away my likeness. When I signed away my likeness, that gives the school the ability to sell anything with my face picture in it, anything with my number on it. They just now start paying these players. So imagine what the record labels are doing. They're not educated, like they have nothing invested in you at all. You know what I mean? Like literally, if they can't recoup it, it's not invested. So for people thinking that, oh, they gave me 100K to help me, they're investing in me. Shit. They ain't invested nothing they can't recoup.
The question is this: if they gave you 100K, how much more could they have given you?
You know, you feel me? And like Mo was saying, there's 22 people in front of you. So it's one thing to know there's 22 people. It's even one thing to know all 22 people. Do you know how all 22 people work and what their actual specific roles are? Maybe you can cut out 10 or 11 of them by yourself. Just you can do that.
Because you already know it.
Take that step because they've already signed away their ability to take that step and didn't even know it.
That's crazy. And that's the show the truth. I mean, I had artists come to me, you know, with $100,000 deal in their pocket. And, you know, telling me, hey, I got $100,000 deal. They got me a bonus for $100 grand. And I tell you, and when it's all said and done, you know, they got $100,000 deal, but they're paying taxes on $100,000. In reality, they only received 25.
You know, I'm going to ask the question. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Ray.
No, go ahead.
Well, this is going to take us in a whole different arena, so I'm going to let you go ahead.
I know. I was just going to say, in relation to what they were talking about, what Maurice was just saying, you know, if you guys remember, I told you about how Fox Television wanted to offer me $1 million bucks. They offered me $1 million bucks to take my show, which I'm already working and grinding, and I've already gotten 1.5 million viewers and doing really well, knocking BET and them out the box. Okay, they wanted to give me $1 million, but they said, let's change some things. Okay, let's add some Britney Spears and some Madonna music videos, and put a white co-host next to you. And they said, and I thought about it. My partner was sitting there. He was like, let's take it. I'm like, no, because you guys see the potential that we have, and you want to change it because it's going to benefit you. It's not going to benefit me. You want to take my stuff, and then I ain't got nothing. Okay, so what I did was I left it on the table and said, hey, we'll get there. I'm good. We'll get there on our own. And we did. Yeah. So it was just a long story, but it's just a young person who sees that stuff. They and like you were saying, Brad, you know, you living on $16,000-$20,000 a year. That looks good. But, you know, you don't sell your integrity. You don't sell you for that. Yeah. It's going to come. And when you do stuff when you refuse stuff like that, it's going to come. All right. Mm-hmm. Especially knowing that you upheld your integrity.
Hold on, Miss Gina, before you shift, and that goes into the mind, body, and soul thing. So do not only prepare yourself educational wise mentally for this business. Don't just load yourself and overload it with information. You have to do like visualization. If you can't really visualize yourself in these places, I promise you it's never going to happen. Exactly. Like that imposter syndrome is real. You will fail yourself and put yourself in more comparable positions than ones to succeed if you do not have that sound, mind, body, and soul. I promise.
Facts. Manifestation, brother. Manifestation.
Yes, sir.
Hey, we're talking with Backwood Brad about the business of the business, okay? And now Gina's going to change the whole subject. Go ahead, Gina.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm just curious if you have any thoughts on Illuminati.
Oh,
interesting.
And I don't think that the Illuminati exists the way that other people do. Like, I don't think that it is what people think it is, so to say. I'm not going to say that I don't think there's powers at be like that
we don't know about.
I don't think that like in the comics, you know what I mean? Like they have the Cabal, they have the Illuminati. Like I don't think there's these little groups like that, the Legion of Doom, the Justice League. I don't think it's necessarily separated that visible for us. Like we see things like the CIA, the Feds, the D. I don't think it's that cut and dry. I believe that there's players on both sides helping the other side. Like there's so much things, one trying to compromise the other, et cetera, so much confusion and illusion. I do believe Illuminati-like influence exists. I don't believe that there is that group of people necessarily by that name. So I think that's a joke and just good for entertainment, in my opinion.
Exactly.
You think it's like to throw everybody off from what's really going on so they can focus on that one subject.
Exactly.
As opposed to looking at the big picture.
Exactly.
And you're right. It is easy, man. It's very easy. I hear what you're saying.
Exactly. I mean,
well, you know, they saying a lot of the successful in the music industry, not just music industry, but even in the acting field, you have to be a part of it,
right,
to be at the top up there.
And that's what I mean. And that's why I say like there's what the social masses will accept as what the Illuminati is versus several different groups of people that are being called and labeled such. So, for example, the presidents, right? Every president, besides I think Obama maybe like one or two, has been part of what they call Skull and Bones. So we know that that's like one of those secret faction organizations, right?
That's been busted out for years, yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that there's a lot of entities like those that hold power, that hold merit in a way that an Illuminati would, in my opinion. But I don't think there's like an Illuminati group like the Skull and Bones. Like when you start to break down Freemasonry and things like that and how they've been associated with it, it's you don't understand what Freemasonry is clearly.
Yeah, it's true.
My grandpa's a Freemason. That's why I'm saying like he wears that 32 like with the GP. He wears like I talk about it. He had conversations with me about it. He's like, look, this ain't even all about a race thing. There's a lot of politics in this shit too, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's just more knowledge that I think people need to be, and within accepting the knowledge, challenge it. Ask for second opinions. Don't be scared to do that.
Yeah, and just like what you just said, that right there, that one word you just said, scared, keeps a lot of people out of their shine, keeps a lot of people out of their success. Being fearful of a no is the most craziest thing I've ever known in my whole life. Somebody tells you no. That's all they can tell you, no. And that ruins your millennium. Are you freaking kidding me? Take your butt out there and keep pushing. Yeah,
that's right.
Keep pushing.
It'll teach you. It'll teach you what to do, you know, because everybody doesn't come in, you know, as soon as you get it done, you know, one out of a million people, it's going to be accepted. Okay.
Right.
Tell me no so that I can learn. And, you know, when I've been told no, I ask, well, what could I have done better in order to make it happen?
Well,
and they give me those little nuggets, and I apply it to my overall presentation again, you know, kind of tweak it a little bit, go to the next person. They may say no, add some more to it. And then that third person may say yes, and there you go. You know what I'm saying?
There it is.
Go ahead, Brad.
Within that, I don't do well with rejection. Like I don't. So when I think about people who say they're networking and people who say they're doing things like that, if you just out here shooting in the dark. So for example, if this is a hip hop podcast and I show up playing all this drill music where I'm talking about killing my op and shit, y'all gonna be looking like this. He know what show he's on. Clearly, I didn't do my research. Oh, what do you mean? I'm networking. I'm out here on a podcast. Nah, bro. If you're not doing your homework, sometimes that no is it's worse than a no. Like you think you just gotta know. These people now probably called a couple of people. Yo, Tell me why this motherfucker Backwood Brad showed up looking for this. You don't know. I'm telling you, bro. Like, talking about giving me 50%. 50% of what? Like, this is what I'm saying. If you don't know, I don't know how many producers send me bullshit ass beats talking about, bro, I didn't listen to your whole catalog, dog. I got all the beats for you. We gonna be the next duo. What the fuck did you just give me? If you're not doing your homework, sometimes that no, it don't matter how many ways you ask the question, how many different people you ask it to. If I ain't did my research on Greg, on Mo, on Life Coach Jeff, if I ain't did my research just a little bit to see what they're about, I've already failed myself. I'm not prepared. I have nothing to combat this situation. I'm glad you don't believe in me. I've seen some of the other people you worked with. Here's why I think I'm like this person. Oh, shit. I didn't even know you did. Do your homework. It's not always a no. Not now is not no. Position yourself for that.
You got to do the homework.
Man, this brother, let me just. Can I just do that?
That's saying a lot.
This man out here, he the truth. Let me be quiet again. So
Tell us again where we can find your music.
Anywhere you listen to music, just search Backwood Brad. Same way how it's spelled there on the screen. Anywhere you search or listen to music, Spotify, Apple, iTunes. But I got this app called Deezer. Never even used it. Had 1,500 plays last month. It's crazy. Yeah. I don't even know what some of these apps are, but yeah, people listen to everything. So find you a distribution platform that puts you as many places as possible. I use DistroKid, me personally. DistroKid works well for me and what I'm trying to do. It allows me to split with most of the people I work with. Three of my favorite producers that I work with like religiously. Shout out to Thick Chris. Shout out to Emilio Miles. Shout out to Johnny Exodus. All of these brothers are on DistroKid. Easy 50-50 splits. And one of my up-and-coming favorite producers, Blank Thought, young kid in the game. We got a couple of tracks together. He is also recently took some of the conversations that we had to heart, got himself on DistroKid, started registering some things. Now we got some 50-50 splits too. It's beautiful. Let me
before we get out of here, man, you know, y'all talking about how you can find it. I got some tracks right here. Y'all check this out.
Go for it. Yes.
Yeah, play them bad boys.
Thank you.
This is called Run the Courts. Y'all check this out real quick.
We've been working too hard. Here to shake it up, we playing Yahtzee, we're the Opsy. Every verse a TED Talk, who taking topics. Hit a wall, you hate the Rockets, make them watch me change the optics. Till I'm $1 million man, Ted DiBiase, Brad the Archer. Gave him targets, secured the cheap deposits. Chains and armor hanging off balconies like I'm Peter Parker. Curtains falling, crows flocking like my name's Itachi. Pen blade sharper than Kiss-A-Maze, I'm a real Akatsuki. Without compromising integrity, just let it be. Bernard and Oscar, part of my weaponry. The execution's golden. KFC wanting a recipe. People throwing dirt on my name, used to eat next to me. Leg up in the race, that's my legacy. Treasure, please see the pressure isn't what's pressing me. Passion bleeds into my patience. If you testing me, integrated courage and fear to reach my destiny. What's next for me? We ain't putting off the work for the frauds. Don't say the choice for the mall. We on course for the car. Run the courts at your bar. Yeah. We ain't putting off the work for the frauds. Don't say the choice for the mall. We on course for the car. Run the courts at your bar. Run the courts at your bar. Sipping bottle Fiji, narrating the manga reading. You cannot defeat me. A sage on the back of Gamakichi. A novel brief, an apostle like if it's Paul you seeking or the Pope, it's a poet. Sounding like the Cardinal speaking. Nightmare, same presence, Kamara leaving.
Right now, we going to the next one. Right now, real quick. Smoke clears, y'all.
This one's crazy.
Undiscovered as part of my rediscovery. Uncover confidence, never lobby in luxury. Some found harmony isolated from the country. Others found unemployment and some unexpected budgeting. Maybe you'll make a fortune for Fortune 500 companies. The proportion of greed. I put poems and fortune cookies you'll never read. Send proceeds to unfortunate kids you never feed. The American dream, not as unfair as it seems. Preparation don't prevent the extreme. I help people who want. What about people in need? Sign the dotted line, isn't always the deed. Acting like Michael B. Never follow the creed. Low income from the rougher end. Addicted as I puff again. Need a filter for my lungs. Picking it up again. Doing the running man. Rugged as R.A. the rugged man. You ain't got a puncher's chance. Yo. You were in the clear until the smoke cleared. until the smoke cleared. You were in the clear until the smoke cleared. Until the smoke cleared. Watch what
One
you
more,
hear.
man. One
From
more.
who you heard it, I said,
Grizzly.
you better be there.
This one is called Grizzly.
Tap into my past future with a map to make Brad ruler. Come back sooner. Old man Logan, the last mutant. The Dow user, the last style bender's last student. The last steps, my ceiling jutsu traps losers. Penjitsu, my stamp of approval to rap rumors. What's kung fu? To the lyrical bass rootin'. I grew up on TED Talk, Teddy Riley and Ted Nugent. Know a few Raider fans wild enough to slap rootin'. Run a track like Ryan Newman, wild with evolution. Bitten by something nuclear, you not the king of queens. Met Mueller, 9-net booster. Bunch of Peter Parkers online, nothing but web shooters. Preparing for devastation, deprivation. The town is crying, the storm is coming. Most of the supporting cast is dying. Harsh climate, I'm an outlier. Writing cliffhangers, a mountain climber. Remembering rivals through pictures on iPhones. The battlefield, drunken master skill with will for survival. A sim for recital. This the friendly reminder. Yo, I bring pain until it end like Jiraiya. And look close, you might miss the action. Mr. Patrick, slow it down. This ain't for Democratic, Republican demographic. Storyline imagery graphic. It's more like a manga waiting on anime adaptation. Can't blame audience for traction. I'm a reference rapper. You missing footnotes and section chapters. I don't reference matter. I said that for after. I went from Grizzly Adams to Luffy with the Grizzly Magnum. You get that?
Oh.
Come on, y'all. That's Backwood
This man
Brad.
fire.
That one was
Come on.
Yeah. That's what's up.
Come on.
Man fire out here in these streets.
Man.
And Marcy, you'll be proud to know he didn't curse once in any of them.
I don't
heard
curse in my
that.
music.
Oh, that was nice.
I don't curse in my music. I don't curse in my and I haven't cursed in my music since like 2016-ish, 2017. So yeah. Right when I stopped writing, when I came back, it was like conscious, like, no, we're not even doing it. We're not even gonna do it.
And
And in my opinion, this isn't attacking anyone else's creativity. I didn't feel like if I had to use those, like if I couldn't use the whole vocabulary. I spent years, I made over 100 songs where I cursed. So if I can't make 100 songs where I don't curse and not repeat myself, that was where I was at. Like, this ain't made for me.
Yeah.
Like, I go both directions. And like it's not that sometimes like the music may not offend people, because you can't control content that triggers people. When I say things like, what about Breonna Taylor? Would you still make that face at your daughter's assassination and things like that? Like, somebody who don't agree with that whole situation is going to feel a certain way. Like, oh, so you're, things like that. So it's like some of my more political music where I've, push the line and things like that. Give me something to believe in. Songs like that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, those things like that.
Dude,
kind
I
of.
wish I could hook you up with 2 or 3 artists that I have here in Nashville.
Yeah.
I call him Bobby Red, but he get pissed off at me when I call him Bobby Red. But you'll see the reason why if I showed you. I call him Bobby Red, but he fire like that. His list is just like you.
Young Malcolm X, huh? Young Malcolm, huh?
Oh no.
Oh, heard the red. I'm like, well, we got Young Malcolm on. What we got going?
There's a picture of him right here.
Hey man, that is true artistry though, man. The music wasn't no this music. It wasn't no hard music. It was just something melodic that you can feel. If the music can't get you right off the bat, man. It's just,
And like for me, like I'm a big reference rapper, as I said in that song. So for like a lot of people, a lot of the references or metaphors that I make, they may not understand, which is cool. That's why I be telling people, like, ask questions. It's one thing to be super critical and call a song because you don't understand it. I watch a lot of anime, a lot of like comic books. I read a lot of comics, read a lot of manga and stuff. I put a lot of those references into my music. I got one of my friends who isn't into none of that, cartoon stuff. He literally, I gave him the lyrics to my song. I said, bro, do me a favor. Spend 10 minutes and just everywhere where I'm so-and-so like this, I do this as this, go look. My man came back like, yo, when you said like that, the Wolverine line, there's literally a comic where Wolverine comes back from the future type stuff is Old Man Logan. So like when I'm talking about tapping into my past future is literally an X-Men comic, which was literally Days of Future Past. That's an X-Men movie. Like when you start to break the stuff down and like chronologically line it up for people, it surprises them. Like, oh, I didn't know that's what you were saying. And that's why I try to encourage people. Like a lot of what you were saying earlier, Ms. Gina, bring it back full circle. When you start asking about why said artist isn't helping said artist, a lot of people hear people that are dope rapping. I don't understand what you're saying. I'm intimidated. That's off limits. Not even gonna touch that. Let me go find something I'm familiar with. Everybody's familiar with the streets. So that's why I think that a lot of this stuff became easy to oversaturate and look like the influence because it was just something that everybody's seen on a day-to-day basis.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reaching.
It was a great show, bro.
Research.
Man.
Another
man. I'm gonna tell you, man, what I love, what I just love about his bars, man, is that you kind of remind me like you said, you look up to Common, Rakim, and all them. That's what it puts me in that mind frame in. When I'm listening to you, I have to think. You know what I mean? Think, visualize, and like you said, you told your boy to go ahead and do some research. Just take 10 minutes. I want to do that with your music, bruh. Because I know
that's what I do. Not to cut you off. You can.
You good.
All these artists don't do this. That's another thing. DistroKid, I don't know how the other ones work. DistroKid gives you the option to actually type in and upload and update your lyrics. So when people actually want to know what you're saying, a lot of these new artists got terrible production, terrible mixing and mastering. That's cool. If you got the lyrics there, maybe somebody will take the time to read along and try to figure you out. Give yourself a fight.
That's true.
So you can go Google all my lyrics, Jeff. They all right there for you.
Okay, that's what's up, man.
Okay.
Hey, man, we had a great show tonight, man. Definitely had a great show tonight. Hey, Backwood Brad, we're going to invite you back. We're going to invite you back again, man.
Please come back, sir.
I'm ready.
Please come back. We got you, man. You guys understand that things are going to change for this gentleman shortly.
Oh, yeah.
All right. In the meantime, before we get out of here, man, there's a show, a local guy doing good. That's why I'm here. Y'all check this out. If I can ever find it, I just man, here it is.
He's creating a platform for everyone to come and tell their story of how they turned tragedy into triumph. And everyone has a story to tell. Get ready to be motivated and inspired on That's Why I'm Here. So get ready, get ready, get ready. Ladies and gentlemen, your talk show host, Jamie McGrone.
Hi, I'm Jamie McGrone from That's Why I'm Here.
And you want to be a part of the studio audience, that's why I'm here. Inbox Jamie with those free tickets. Okay, the crew will be there. Some of the crew will be there, so check them out. We got to get back with Brad over here to get on that too, man, for real. But always, every day, man, let's get up out of here. We'll go around and say a couple things. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, I just want to say, today, go ahead, spread some love, spread some knowledge, spread some wisdom. You never know who's going to need it. You never know who's going to love it. You never know who's going to hate it. But at least if somebody hates it, you at least planted a seed. And that's what we're here to do, plant seeds.
Backwood, give us some.
Pick up what I talk about often, man. Not now is not no. Do not be discouraged where you're at. Your destructive past does not determine your future. Understand that and accept that. Perception is everything, like we said yesterday, and appreciate where you are in the space that you are in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Young people trying to get into the business, do your due diligence, hire an entertainment attorney, surround yourselves with people that you can truly trust. Don't sell your soul for a couple of bucks. All money ain't good money.
Good money. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? You know it. Man, we appreciate you being here, bro. It is really cool to have somebody that's just as deep as of course, Greg is high and is over there. He's deep too into it. He just playing it off. it's good to have that, so you get a chance to get in there and share the thoughts and share the things, and the biggest thing is to validate what you was thinking and what you're telling people, that it is what it is. It's the truth. You can't tarnish the truth.
You guys heard a lot of gems about the music industry, but what Backwood Brad did, he dropped gems on any business you want to get in. This applies to any business. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're trying to do, learn about it. Update yourself on it. Educate yourself on it. It's one thing to know how to like to do something. It's another thing to actually know how to do it and do it correctly. So rewind this tape and listen to it again.
Go share it and repost it, everybody. I mean, I echo what Marcy said. Everything that looks good ain't good, okay? You got to evaluate it for yourself, okay? But get some people around you that's going to really, really, really talk to you, give you the truth, so that you can make a great decision. Sometimes you're not going to listen, okay? That's just the ego in you saying, okay, how do you know what I want, okay? But, sometimes people do know where you need to go. So, take that advice sometimes. And I'm going to leave you with this.
Yes! Randy Watson! That boy is good.
Thank you very much, Backwood Brad.
That boy good. That boy good.
Hey, Brad, we appreciate you, bro. You gotta come back, man. Again, probably next week, man. We want to get your
right.
Yes, sir.
Brad moment. You know what I'm saying? Give us some gems, man. Continue to spit those gems and continue to be who you are, man. You've been very transparent with us tonight, man. And that's the way we love to be, man. Okay. Blessings to you, brother. We appreciate you, and we will be in contact with you real sooner than you think, actually.
Likewise. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate all y'all as well.
Thank you, Backwood Brad. You did an awesome job.
Got you, man.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
This is DopelivenTV Live. Okay, we will see you guys tomorrow. All right, same time.
Thanks for tuning in.
Peace.